Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Gulfstream Park. Ron Nicoletti here. It is a beautiful Sunday afternoon. Look at that sky, not a cloud to be seen. Really a fantastic day. We got a fast main track. We have a firm turf course this afternoon. I'm here by myself. You all know the reasons why, but Acacia and Jason will be joining us throughout the afternoon on social media. So make sure you watch and play along, and make sure you play and bet on First Bet. It's a really good app, and of course, expressbet.com. With that said, fast main track. We have 9 races this afternoon. And let's show you the wagering menu that we're offering you this afternoon. We got the Rainbow Six, $1.8 million jackpot guarantee. And mark this down. That starts in race number 4 this afternoon because of the 9-race card. So don't wait for race 5 or race number 6. So start your handicapping early. Once again, that starts in race number 4, $1.8 million jackpot guarantee. And along with the Rainbow Six, of course, we offer 2 pick fives this afternoon. The first one starts in race number 1. Show you my ticket. I got a $36 ticket in here, and I really think the one in the opening leg is Belleville Spring is the one to beat. But I like Wise Trust. That horse 6-1 on the morning line. Go back and look at that. So he broke badly in his last race. And then in race number 2, I went 2 deep just for one day. The 7 I think is the one to beat, but I also used groundbreaking. And then I went 3 deep in both race 3 and race number 4, and 2 deep in the final leg. And that is the second leg, actually, of the Rainbow Six today. Really like King of Ranch. I'm going to show you that horse's last race in just a little while. So $36 for me for the early pick 5. Once again, fast main track, firm turf course. So let's delve right into this first race. And as I mentioned, I think on the board right now, early in the wagering at 9-5, is the one Belleville Spring, who's going to depart from that inside post. Looking to make amends after returning from about a 6-month layoff that time. Finished second, was the odds-on choice that afternoon at this level and distance. So you would think off that performance, going to take that positive step forward. Dylan Davis will be in the saddle this afternoon. I was telling you about the other horse that I used on my ticket, and that was the 8Y Trust. And as I mentioned, get away from the gate in a timely fashion. Go look at his last race. He broke from post 10. He rushed up mid-race to get the lead, and he failed to reel in a repeat winner called Combination at this level and distance. So I think if this horse breaks sharply, of course the one is the one to beat, but why trust? And I closed it out with the 2 Awesome Action, who's certainly free-falling into this non-winners of 2 lifetime race on the dirty. He chased sizzling fractions last time out on the grass, finished 5th. Those were 30 condition claimers. I think this one might be part of that pace. Ralph Nix is the trainer. He's pretty solid with the grass to dirt move. He goes about 14%. The second race this afternoon is a 5-furlong turf event. These are maiden special weight, 3-year-olds and upward. And I just think if you look at the doubles right now, I think this will be one of the major players, and that's the 7, Just for One Day, who's debuting on the turf. First start since dueling for the lead and weakening. That was his 7-furlong debut at Belmont last June. So I looked up a stat on Christophe Clement. I was curious to see what the stat would be. Christophe Clement, horse is going from dirt to turf, which this horse is doing after coming back from a longer than 180-day layoff. He's really good. He's 6 for 20, 30%, 50% in the money, and a 362 return of investment over the past 5 years. So, it's something that you don't see Christophe doing a lot coming off a long layoff, but this horse has run well. Getting blinkers off this afternoon, and Joel L. Rosario will be in the saddle. The other horse I used on my ticket was that one, Groundbreaking, a gelded son of Tappan. He's debuting on the turf for Ian Wilkes. After showing some early interest, he faded his 6.5-furlong debut on the main track, a race that produced, I think, a couple of next out winners from 3 starters. So it was a good race. Going to see if this horse runs well on the turf this afternoon. And the number 2, Boss on the Horizon, is certainly an interesting horse in here. I only used 2 on my ticket in the early pick 5. This one makes his first start. Now, he showed speed and he faded. That was 5.5 furlongs on the Keeneland during October. So he's a son of Street Boys. He comes back today as a gelding with Lasix added for Brian Lynch. Louis Saez, they're taking the blinkers off this afternoon. Horse you might want to give a little look to in there. I think he's got a shot. I don't know what he's on the morning line, but I think he might have a little bit of a shot. With that said, we'll go to race number 3, and this one is a mile and 1/16 on the turf. Claim is 4 and up. Non-winners of 2 in life, $25,000 down to $20,000. And I went with the number 4 horse in here, Positive Phil, who moved to the Mike Maker barn after the claim, stretches out today to the mile in the 16th. He counted some early trouble. He finished 6th in that race against the same level of opposition. Mike Maker, 2nd in the stands. I want to show you a stat. Now, this is over the past 6 months, so I wanted to narrow it down because he's 2nd in the standings here. First after the claim on the turf at Gulfstream. He's 8 for 23, 35%, 65% in the money, and almost a $3 return of investment. That's over the past 6 months. As I mentioned, he's got 39 wins, so he's 2nd behind Todd Pletcher with 41 victories. Now, the number 6, Noble Hope, is going to drop into this 2 lifetime claimer. As I mentioned, these horses are all looking for their 2nd victory. And on the turf, after facing Allowance Company on turf and synthetic during his 2019 campaign up in Canada, north of the border, Roger Atfield has this son of Noble Mission training forwardly at Payson Park. And who's riding this horse today? Paco Lopez, 7 victories yesterday afternoon on Saturday. One of a number of guys that have done it, jockeys, and some of the greatest names in jockeys. Luis Saez did it twice. Jerry Bailey, the numbers just keep going on. So Paco just riding in his own. Direct approach, solid in defeat last time out when he rebounded from a mugging at the start. He finished that late closing third. It was a big price of 25-1. One going a mile against similar competition last out. You want a horse that maybe gets a little bit of a price, you go with the 3 direct approach. So for me, 4 Positive Phil, the 6 Noble Hope, and the 3 direct approach. We'll take a short break. When I come back, I'll show you my Rainbow 6 ticket. Welcome back to Gulfstream today. Ron Nicoletti here. Hope you're all safe and having a good time out there. Don't forget you can watch us and wager all day long on First Bet and ExpressBet.com. Here's my Rainbow 6 ticket. As we mentioned, $1.8 million jackpot guarantee. 3 deep in race number 4 with the 2 Sneer, the 6 So Darn Hopper. My top pick, Pleasant Orb, the number 8 in there. Race 5, just 2 deep in there. King of Ranch, I think, is going to be the favorite, but the 3 Flash Pass, you can get a price on that horse. 2 deep in race number 6, Tornasol, trouble last time out for Sappy Joseph Jr. And then in race number 7, 3 deep in there. And race 8, I went with Dynapasa, the number 5 and the 2. What does a shark say? I have no idea except for chomp. That's definitely what they say. The 9th race, 3 deep, the final race of the afternoon with the 1, 3, and 8. I'm using on my ticket, 43.20 for me. Let's go right into this 4th race, a mile maiden special weight filly 3-year-olds. My top pick is the number 8, Pleasant Orb. A daughter of Orb was sharp in her local debut at this level and distance. When she vied for the lead throughout and finished 2nd, she was only beaten at length that afternoon by trainer Barkley Tagg. He's got this sophomore working steadily since that performance, and Joe Bravo will be in the saddle today. The number 2, Sneer, 2nd on the Tampa main track in her debut, returns to the dirt this afternoon and cuts back to the 1-turn mile after stalking the pace and finishing 4th. That was going 9 furlongs on the Tampa turf. Christophe Clement, excellent with this move. He's about 20%. And as I mentioned, who's hotter than Paco Lopez? He'll be handling that horse today, the number 2, Sneer. And then I used the 6, So Darn Hot, a $600,000 of daughter of Ghost Sapper, debuting for George Weaver with Lasix added. The barn is pretty solid with first-time starters. Wrigley bred filly, steady work tabs at Palm Beach Downs. So we'll see how that very expensive horse runs in there. The race 5 this afternoon is a 1-mile turf event starter optional claimer, 3-year-olds, $25,000 less, or the optional claiming price of $25,000. $50,000. And as I mentioned, the number 8, King of Ranch, is wheeling back at the same level and distance. I want to go back and show you this horse's last race. We're going to pick it up near the 8th pole, and he's the number 9 and the number 12, Castagno. So the 9 is King of the Ranch, Castagno. You're going to watch. They're both going to go towards the inside and make a move right there at the 8th pole, and you'll see as they go down. We're going to switch it when we get down there. You're going to see the head-on of the, there was a claim of foul in this race, and we'll see if we can show you that front view of this thing. Here it is right now. There you see the 9 coming in with the 12, and now you'll see the 12 coming out, pushing the 9, who is King of Ranch, and you make your decision here. They left it up that afternoon. The point I wanted to make, they both made that move at the 8th pole. This one got pushed out. Was he better that day? I don't know. You make that decision. I did. I think he is. So just King of the Ranch. Wanted to show you that race. Flash Pass, as I mentioned, stretches out around 2 turns today after a promising career debut going 5 furlongs on the grass. You look back, he was 10 lengths off the pace to finish third. It's Amanda de la Cerda. He's pretty good with horses stretching out around 2 turns, so about 20% thereabouts. So that horse, a little bit of price on the board you might want to use. Now, the number 9, Handsome Little Devil, I think is going to be primed and ready to offer more after returning from a layoff. He finished a late running 5th behind aforementioned King of Ranch last time out. That race we showed you just then. Patrick Biancone trains the son of Handsome Mike, and Patrick just having a fantastic meeting. So horse you might want to look at. We'll go to the 6th race this afternoon, a mile on the turf starter, optional claimer, 3-year-olds, 50 or less. I mentioned I wanted to show you a video of the number 4, Tornasol. This is going to try $50,000 claimers for Sappy Joseph Jr. Now we're going to show you this horse here. Tornasol is the number 4. You watch him come out of the gate, and everything looks like he's got good position there, but everything gets a little tight there, and you're going to see he's going to have to pull all the way back and steady back almost to last, next to last in that race. Then we're going to just fast forward it to the stretch run, and there you can see how he was. And he was just sort of always looking for a place to run in this particular race. And finally, it gets a little bit of a seam and runs okay. You'll see he finishes good. And, of course, this was the $60,000 Mrs. Presidentes. Certainly the numbers add up, dropping to the 50 level. Those are, trying 50 claimers today. And you see this horse still running good on the inside. So he had that early trouble, was stuck behind horses in the stretch, and what's he get beat? 1.5 lengths. So I used the 5 Special Liaison in second, who's stepping up to face winners. Was impressive beating those 40 maidens at the distance last time out. David Falk's pretty solid, winning consecutive races. And I went with the 7 Omnia in third. He's another one stepping up to face winners today, or she is stepping up to face winners today. Turns back to a mile, set a pressured pace, and really was game held sway to defeat those 50 maidens at a mile in the 16th. So a couple of recent maidens, and Tornasol with the trouble in race number 6. Race number 7 this afternoon. This is 6.5 furlongs, allowance optional claimer, state-bred 3-year-olds and up. They could run for that optional claiming tag of $16,000. I went with the 2 More Than Strike, who's going to change barns, going to the Jose Gallegos barn after the claim. Turns back to 6.5 after following a debut maiden victory at the distance by opening and surrendering an early 4-length lead when finishing second. That was against those 32 lifetime claimers going a mile. I like this one turning back. Proved it could win at 6.5 furlongs. So just thought Luis Saez will be in the saddle. The number 4, Kyle, turning back to 6.5 also with blinkers added. He dueled for lead and tied, but that was against 12-5 claimers. Going 7/8. Boy, what a meet Carlos David has. He's got 10 victories at the meeting. He's 3 for 9, 33%, a limited sampling with first-time blinkers. M.A. Vasquez in the saddle. Joe DiBaggio. Let's see if he can hit one out of the park here. He's dropping to the 16 level after his 2-race win streak was halted. He finished 4th against 25. Allowance optional claimers, so good spot. Maybe he gets back in the winner's circle. Flipping the page to race number 8, going to the turf, and boy, are we going to the turf. It is 1 mile and 1/2. We're going to stretch it out. We don't run many of these, and they're always a lot of fun. It's an allowance optional claim of fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and upward. I went with the 5 Dynapass, who's stretching out to this 1.5 mile distance, or 12 furlongs. Returned from the layoff, and I thought finished a screw tightening. It was 6 wide in that race. 4th going 1 mile and 3/16. So it's a daughter of Lemon Drop Kid, trained by Tom Albatrani. This one stakes placed at 11 furlongs. certainly bred to handle 12 furlongs, and MSCL Jaramillo in the saddle. To 2, what does the shark say? We talked about what a shark says a little earlier. This one broke a maiden going 10 furlongs on the Belmont turf, stretching out, looking to rebound from a poor showing at a mile and 3/16. But I really respect what Jimmy Toner does. The trainer has this thought of Animal Kingdom working steadily for this assignment. You're going to get double-digit odds with that horse. I think he can run well. And the 6 on the town, stretching out after an eventful local return at a mile and 3/16. She bumped at the start. She lugged in, and then she weakened from her earlier exploits in that race. I think she's worth the flyer, at a price 7-2 on the morning line. I think you got to get a little bit more in the odds department to use that one. Race number 9, the final on the day, is a mile claimer for 4 and up. Non-winners of a race since September 22nd, so a dated claimer. I just thought the 3, the Queen's Jewels, is dropping into this claimer that we mentioned. Showed speed, weakened against better, going 2 turns on the turf. The trainer is Monica Magui, trains this Scat Daddy Geldon, and Paco will be in the saddle today. Jamaican going to stretch out to his best distance, 6 starts, 3 wins. I like that. Stalked the pace and weakened in that race against open claimers at the $8,000 level, going 6.5 furlongs. This one likes a mile. And the inside with Dexter Road, departing from the rail, responded last to the surface switch with a second-place finish behind repeat winner Trapezoid at this level and distance. So we got all 9 in. Good luck this afternoon. I'll be here throughout the afternoon. Come and join us on First Bet on GulfstreamPark.com. We stream the races live all afternoon, and, of course, ExpressBet.com. I'll be back in just a little while.